DBS community, welcome back to another video with Kyle Chris. It's been a little bit of time, maybe a few weeks. Been working on some stuff. As you guys probably have seen by now, we made a new logo for the channel. Messing around with some new intros. That might change over the course of time. Just been playing around with some stuff. But we're back for reveal season. It's probably one of my favorite parts about Dragon Ball is just going over the new cards. And the first leader that they showed off technically was a promo leader, which we'll get to once all of the cards are revealed. But I wanted to put out a overview for the new Zamasu deck, Goku Black Zamasu deck, that we have coming out. This is a very intricate deck, I would say. It's the first deck of its kind, to my knowledge. So, the Zamasu Goku Black leader. This is a green. It's a green deck. It's a green leader, but it has the capabilities of being a tri-colored deck by the cards you will see in the archetype. So this Zamasu deck, the permanent, your multicolor Zamasu and Goku Black cards in all areas get -1 combo cost and -5k combo power. So what that means is that all of your 10ks, your 10k multicolors are now 5ks, but they do not cost any energy to combo. In kind of a sidebar, I do feel like this is probably the best way for Bandai to allow multicolor to be relevant in how the game is. For people who played back in Surge formats, Surge decks, you didn't do anything for the first like 2 turns. You just kind of charged and passed, right? And in today's era, if you don't have the ability to kind of negate the like energy exhaust of cards, or trying to work around these multicolor cards, it made it very difficult for those decks to survive, or even to actually get off the ground, rather. So with how the game has sort of changed, we are slowly starting to see these decks sort of pop up. Last set we had the Broly deck, which is kind of a red-green deck. It's a green leader, but it's a red-green deck. We saw it with Gogeta being a blue-yellow deck, and I think we're going to see the same thing with this. But this is being a tricolor, which is very cool. When this card attacks, you look at the top 5 and add any Zamasu or Goku Black card to your hand. Very important because you can search out literally anything that's Goku Black or Zamasu in your deck. You're looking at 4 life, or if you have a 5-cost Zamasu in play, 5-cost or more Zamasu in play, you draw 2 and go down to 6 life. Now, on the Awakened side, Zamasu and Goku Black, Humanity's Destruction. Permanent, same thing. But now auto is when you draw, you discard first when you attack, and then you draw 2, and then you have an active battle for 1 energy, where if you have 3 or more colors in your combo area, and it's your turn, you can play up to 1 5-cost Zamasu from your hand. So some very cool things about this deck. So obviously I said it's a tricolor deck. This is the first shell of a tricolor deck that we've gotten, where like I said, not including like AOD, the rainbow decks, those don't really count as much because those are always black leaders. This being a green leader, and specifically a green Saiyan leader, this deck has a lot of potential for interesting tech options. Good cycling power, have the ability to utilize multicolor probably better than most decks. The fact that you can combo them for free is incredible. And it is a Saiyan and a God, which will make a lot of sense as we get into some of the tech options and cards that they haven't revealed yet. We might get some more multicolor stuff revealed. Who knows, we might get some promos that will work with this deck, which we obviously don't have any of that information at the moment, so that's not going to really affect the deck building process here as we normally do in the video. So we're going to start with the beginning archetype, which is Zamasu and Guasu. These are your 2 1-drop battle cards you can play. Zamasu, top 5 for any yellow god that costs 5 or less, while Guasu searches top 5 for any green god. So both are decent searchers. Both have a second effect, both for 3 energy. Zamasu's is if your leader is Zamasu or Goku Black. Place one of your Goku Black cards from your battle area or drop under this card, and you get to play a 7-cost on top of this card from your hand. So this is cool. So this is a way for you to go into the 7 cost that you do play in this deck for 3 energy. It's pretty steep, but it is a play line. For Gowasu, similar thing for 3 energy. There's a green Zamasu, and you KO this card. Just one of your Zamasu cards and switch it to active mode. So this card allows you to restand one of your Zamasu cards for 3 energy. Again, kind of steep, but there are play lines there that you can potentially use. All right. Next, we have the Goku Black lineup. Now, this is a very interesting lineup here because you can see we have 3 different colors here. So we have blue, yellow, yellow, and green. So Goku Black, Prelude to Destruction, 20k body. For 1 green, when this card is comboed from your hand, you use a Zamasu or Goku Black card from your drop in a combo with the skills gated for the turn. Then play this card from your drop at the end of the battle. So for 1 green, you combo this guy, and then you are able, or when you combo this guy, I should say, you tap 1, you combo with another card from your drop area, and the goal is, so this is a green yellow, you want to combo something that, a blue yellow, you want to combo something that has green in the color, so you can get all 3 colors in there for certain effects. Once this card's played, you get the bottom deck any of your opponent's battle cards, so that's pretty good. And then activate battle, you can play a Zamasu 5 cost from your hand, which is, again, pretty cool. We have Goku Black team up with a God, 0 cost combo, 15k crit. Activate battle if you have 3 more colors among cards in your combo area. Play this card from your combo area. Then activate battle if your leader is green with Zamasu and Goku Black and you have a Zamasu card in your combo area. Use this card in a combo from your drop. So the concept of this is that you can utilize this card as one of your combo pieces. That's kind of the point. The card says team up with a God. You're comboing Zamasu cards. Zamasu's a God. So is Goku Black. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting wording for the title of the card. So 15k crit, not too bad for being able to play it for 1. When this card is placed on the drop from a Z energy or a battle area, remove this card. Remove this card in the drop from the game. So you have to, if this card gets removed or placed in the drop from Z energy or the battle area, then it's removed from game instead. So it has to be placed in the drop area. So if it gets like bottom decked or something off of let's say a blue skill, right? It's going to go to the bottom of the deck. It's not going to be removed from battle area type of removed from game. It's going to be when it's placed in the drop area. So a little bit of a different auto on this. This is the first one I think we've had that's similar to this, other than like the 8-drop Shroom and Salsa that gets bottom decked if it's removed from the battle area. Then we have Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black Saiyan Manipulation, 20k crit. You can play it for 1 if you have a Zamasu card in play and your leader is a Zamasu card. And then activate main for 1 yellow and 1 green. Place 1 Zamasu card from your drop under this card. Then play a 7 cost from your hand in active mode. So this has a similar effect to the Zamasu, the yellow Zamasu we already saw. When this card's played, you get the KO one of your opponent's battle cards as well. So between both 4 drops, you have 2 different pieces of removal, essentially for 1 energy. Notice how they are both green to play them. So the blue-yellow Goku Black uses the combo. The other one you just play. So pretty good. You have 2 20k bodies that have removal that also have the ability to play out other stuff. And then you have a 15k 1-drop with crit. So I would say this is a pretty good lineup for just early mid-range stuff. All 3 are very good cards, all have very good abilities. So now let's move into the Zamasu cards. So these are the 2 Zamasu cards for 5 drops that come in the set. We have the Beginning of Destruction and Building a Utopia. I like both of these cards for different reasons. Both are 20k indestructible battle cards. Both have the same permanent that if your leader is Goku Black or Zamasu, you negate this card's energy exhaust on all areas, basically making these cards 2 different check lands for both color combinations, which is crazy. Activate main on the Beginning of Destruction. Place one of your Goku Black cards at the bottom of your deck. Draw a card, and then at the end of the turn, switch up to one of your energy to active mode. So this is any of your Goku Black cards. So this could be the green card we showed off earlier, the green-yellow, or the blue-yellow. Those are the cards that we have seen so far. You can bottom deck all of those cards, draw a card, and then restand energy at the end of your turn, which is very good. Then also for 2, if your leader is Zamasu or Goku Black, and there are one or more Zamasu cards and Goku Black cards in your combo area, play this card from your hand. So you can actually tap 2 in the battle step to play this card from your hand to be able to awaken. Alright? If your leader is, then we have the Building Utopia. When this card attacks, you draw a card, and then choose the 20 opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So this has some interesting capabilities. Both cards are able to draw you cards. This card is able to tap down other things. You can swing into them. I think that's very, very good technique there. Activate battle for 1 green and 1 colorless. If your leader is a green or yellow, and you have a total of 2 or more green and or yellow cards in your combo area. Play this card from your hand, then choose the 20 opponent's battle cards that cost 6 or less and KO it. So this is a way for you to also being able to awaken. So you actually can awaken on defense in this state, or just rival this guy to pop something in the combo step, which is very cool. And then you're able to awaken off that. So again, both of these cards have very good implications to this deck. It makes me very excited to actually see this deck play. This is probably one of the most, I would say, out of all the green decks that are in the game right now, I guess like, yeah, honestly, actually most decks that are not black, I'm not a huge fan of playing. This deck kind of goes in that category with like Miracle Gogeta that I want to play. So this deck is really, really cool. I like both of these cards. And this is just kind of an overview here of the some of the cards you can play. I don't know why this image kind of cut off here. That's strange. But we have the old Fused Zamasu, Divine Condemnation, and then Deity's Wrath. Deity's Wrath, most people should know what that is. 20k indestructible. When you swing, your opponent discards a card. And then you have Divine Condemnation, which is a indestructible blocker with Aegis. Aegis is not tied to a color leader. You just have to be able to fulfill the Aegis, which you can. And then you can retain the energy. When this card activates Aegis, you choose one of your opponent's non-leader cards and switch it to rest mode. So you can switch energy to rest mode, which is pretty cool. And you also can play it for 2 if your leader is a Goku Black or Zamasu, and you have at least 1 Zamasu and 1 Goku Black in your combo area. It has the same sort of playing effect as building a Utopia. So that is something that you can also do as well. You can go in and really kind of go into that, really swing into that blue-yellow, which I definitely think people are going to try to do. All right. Now we have one of the big boss monsters for the deck, Fused Zamasu, Deviant Tenacity. 30k, double strike, indestructible. You can evolve on top of a 5-cost, any 5-cost Zamasu for 1 green, 1 yellow, 1 colorless. And then permanent, if your leader is Zamasu or Goku Black, you negate this card's energy exhaust on all areas, similar to the other two Zamasus. When this card's played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and the energy cost 7 or less, ignoring barrier. Negate those cards' skills and KO them. Very powerful effect. This allows you to basically just board wipe your opponent, and regardless, is like ignoring barrier, you negate those cards' skills and then KO them. This is another card that gets around the Gogeta SER. Very cool. But yeah, just a huge board wipe. And remember, you can play this card for 2 off of building a Utopia. I'm sorry, not building a Utopia. The green-yellow Zamasu. Green-yellow Goku Black card. All right? Very cool. Very, very powerful card there. The other one is Final Tenacity Zamasu. This is a 9-drop, 30k indestructible when this card's played. Choose all your opponent's battle cards in unison and place them in the owner's drop. So it's another board wipe. When your opponent plays a battle card, your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. This is an auto that triggers every single time they play a battle card. This is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, right? The overarching issue, I guess, with this deck is that yellow is a color. So as long as yellow is a color, right now yellow is, I would say, still pretty dominant in the meta, and red is not. So this deck, I would say, would naturally have a bad matchup against red. Just red can play a 1-drop battle card that negs 20k, so they can kill literally all of your indestructible cards. So playing into a red format, probably not the best, but anything else, you're good. Like, yellow has 1 card that really deals with a lot of your stuff, which is that Goku Vegeta card. But other than that, like, there's not many things that can actually get rid of these indestructible cards. And you can play this card, place one of your 7-cost Zamashus in the drop, and you play this card for 5 from your hand. Okay. And then we have we did get some Z energies, or some Z deck support. We have Zamasu Prelude to Destruction, 3 cost, 1 Z energy, 10k indestructible. If your leader is a Zamasu card, and there are 3 more colors in your energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your Z deck by 1 green. So it becomes a 2 cost. This card is played against barrier till the end of your opponent's next turn. And then when this card attacks or activates block, or use one of your multicolor Zamasu Goku Blacks in a drop, from the drop in a combo with its skill negated, so it has the ability of being able to combo and kind of help you build a little bit of Z energy. For 2 energy, this is still quite a heavy cost for just a blocker. So not the greatest of Z-Deck support, but the next card here is incredible, which is Project Zero Mortals Reaching Fruition. So this is a 6 cost Z energy card for one Z energy. Permanent if your opponent has an original, if the opponent is the original owner of 4 more battle cards in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand, in your Z deck, I'm sorry, by 4 green. Activate main if there are no battle cards other than Zamasu cards in play in all areas. You remove this card from the game. Your Zamasu and Super Saiyan, so basically your leader, your awakened leader, gains the following skill till the end of your until the start of your next turn. Players without a god card in play discard all cards in their hand at the end of your opponent's turn. Yeah, so very powerful effects, kind of gimmicky. Being able to hit literally everything in your opponent's hand, that's pretty crazy. This card is kind of a difficult thing to get out. They have to have 4 more battle cards in play. Then you have to wipe their board, and they can't have anything that's god card. Like if they have a god card in play, then it just doesn't matter. So it's kind of gimmicky. It's a cool way of ending some games. There's going to be certain matchups where I think you can play this card into and probably win. This kind of wins, I would say, a lot of your control matchups. Because it's almost uninteractable unless they have a god card. So now, after that, as you know, we're going to go into the deck building portion of the video, and we'll see what we come up with. As always, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're still going towards 2,000 subs. Hopefully, now that we're kind of back in the swing of things a little bit, we hope we can reach that goal. Okay, so we have the Zamasu Goku Black Leader here, as we've already kind of stated. Again, I'm really excited for this deck. This might be one of the decks that I play that's not a black leader. I'm going to see if I can get the cards. A lot of the stuff is just archetype based. Then there's a few extra cards you can play that are, just generically good. So remember, anything that is tech-wise, and there's going to be a lot. There's going to be some in the video that I'm not going to go over. I am going to cover some interesting cards you guys should look at into putting into the deck. But there's a lot, and there's a lot of things that are going to be meta dependent. But you can play so many just generic good cards because you basically playing 3 different colors. So first, we'll start off with the yellow Zamasu here. This is one of our searchers. We are playing the Gowasu as well, but you do want to have a turn 1 play just so you can start building some Z energy, but also just being able to just cycle through the deck. We have 2 of this card here. Fuse Zamasu, Exterminating Force. This is a really old SR. I probably have like 15 of this card from when I bought my case of Realm of the Gods. This came out almost 2 years ago. But this is another check land, but also it is a evolve target for the 5-drop. So this is a 35k double striker with blocker and indestructible. When this card activates Aegis, draw 1, switch this card to active mode, then choose one of your opponent's cards and switch to the rest mode. So in some matchups, you actually are able to play this for energy on top of your Zamasu. Obviously, very control dependent, but being able to use it as a check land, but then also being able to evolve over a 5-drop and being a just gigantic defensive body is pretty good, right? For Aegis, you have to pitch a blue card and a yellow card, or one that has both requirements. So you pitch one, which we're running blue-yellow in the deck, obviously. We're going to be able to draw a card and then restand this card, and then tap something else down. So you can use it as a double blocker in a lot of cases. It's a very powerful card, a very, very good tech piece. In some matchups, you might just end up charging it, you might end up siding it out, but it's an option to play. That's why we're putting it in the deck. We want to make sure that we're able to charge that blue energy just for later on in the game. We have 4 of the Beginning of Destruction. I think this card's really good. Being able to bond back any of your Goku Black cards and draw a card off of it is good. You have a very interesting draw engine now for the deck. And again, it's another check land. 4 Prelude to Destruction. Again, another blue card. This one again is, so this one's not a check land, so this card is not something that you want to charge, but this card being able to play it and then use the blue energy to play 5 cost from your hand. So you can play this card, swing with it, and then play the 5 cost, this guy from your hand. Then you can use this to bottom deck the Goku Black. I think it's pretty good. It's a pretty good little play there. 3 of this card here, Zamasu the Eliminator. Card's been around for a while now. Obviously after the errata, lost a lot of steam, but being able to bounce 4 or less battle cards back, then also being able to counter window 2 cards that have deflect. So you can play this against a card that has deflect, and then just the auto will trigger, and then you can just tap it down and draw a card, as long as it doesn't have barrier. This card can also be a check land if you have a blue-yellow multicolor card in your energy. So if once you charge one of these guys, this card now becomes chargeable if you absolutely need to. It's also a pitch target. These are all your blue-yellow cards you can pitch off of your Fused Zamasu here for Aegis. Also, remember you have the other 5-drop as well that you can play. All right. Now we'll start the green support. We have 4 of the Gowasus. I think 4 of the Gowasu is a little more important. The green, because this guy searches out gods, green gods 5 or less, this kind of gives us some more implication of cards that we can play in the future. 3 of the Goku Black team up with a god. I think running 4 of this card is not necessary. It's a 0 combo cost. So we just need to put this card in the drop as quick as possible. 4 building a Utopia. I picked the SPR because it's really cool looking. But this is going to be this and the other 5-drop. These are kind of be your big pieces. Like you're gonna be playing this card for 2. Just start swinging in the stuff again. If you're playing in a red, you're gonna have to. Your deck's not gonna pilot nearly as well as you would like it to. You have to play a lot differently against red decks. But against mostly everything else, especially blue and especially green, for the most part, you should be able to deal with a lot of stuff. There are some cards that can hinder you a little bit, but having these cards that have indestructible make them at least a little bit tanky against those matchups. 3 of the Deviant Tenacity. 3 is fine, I think. I think you go 4 just for space purposes. We're trying to keep as close to 50 as possible. But I cut one of these, and I cut one of the 1-drop Zamasu so I could run 2 of this Fused Zamasu here. And then 4 of the same manipulation. Again, this is another one of your 1-drop battle cards, so you want to make sure you're playing these guys. You have this Goku Black and this card. You want to make sure that you're using these guys consistently. This is a cool tech. I've seen this in a few of the videos, not a few of the videos, but a few of the deck lists that I've seen on DBS Deck Blend, so people obviously know about this combo. This is Helis. This is a card from a really long time ago. We got a reprint, which is what we're using here. This is a super combo. If your leader is a god or Universe 2, our leader is a god, and your life is at 4 or less, you place 1 card from your hand in the drop, and you can draw 2. So this is a very specific card. There's not many decks in the game that actually can use this card. I'll say I guess there's gods, so yeah, you can use it in god decks. Not a lot. Generally, those decks are going to be using a better super combo. What's nice about this is that we can use this to put cards into the drop for our Goku Black effect. So remember, this card combos a Zamasu or Goku Black from the drop. Okay, so we can use the I think it's Helis is the name. You put a card into the drop, so you can put any of these cards. Specifically, probably going to be putting this guy in the drop, or putting another green Zamasu or Goku Black in the drop, and then comboing. So you use this card, you pitch it, draw 2, then combo with the Goku Black, and then tap a green to then combo one of these guys from the drop. So that way you're able to get your combo off. Also, this is a god, so she is searchable off of the Gowasu. So having a searchable super combo that is a draw 2 super combo, I think it's pretty valid. This is a very good reason to run this rather than running a Great Saiyan or Paragus. 3 Uneasy Awakened Rage. Yes, we are a mono green Saiyan leader, so we can play this really, really good Floodgate. I've run 3 or 4 of it. This is what you're going to probably play in any green Saiyan deck, so you get used to seeing it. We have 3 Sun Gohan and Sun Goku. Father-Son Solidarity. Since we are a green leader, we can play this guy. Just a good 2-drop for removing stuff. Push it through for damage. It might not be needed. I felt like I just needed to add a little bit of just like some generic battle cards that we can play that are not on trait. So I think these are pretty good. These are probably some of the best 2-drops you're going to play. 2 of the Final Tenacity. So this card is weird. I think this card might end up being a side deck card if you're going to be playing it. So again, if you guys have never watched one of these videos, generally what I do is I go over a generic template for what a deck could look like. For those who might just want something to base their deck off of, and then they can kind of go in and tweak it if they want to. but I think this card will end up more likely being a side deck card. I don't see you tapping 5 energy for this card a lot of the time. That would mean one of these guys would have to live the entire time, and in certain matchups, that's just not going to be the case. Secret rare is going to be the Wicked Saiyans. So if your leader is green or yellow or shares a name with a card in here, this card gains dual attack and blocker, which is Goku Black. Also, that means this card is searchable off of the front side of our leader, so that's also very good. This is a free 10k combo. Then, auto for 2 at the end of the battle when this card is comboed. Your opponent may tap 4 cards. Any 4 cards. It can be leader, unison, energy, whatever. If they don't, I would say if they do, you remove this card from the game from the drop. If they don't, you play this card and your opponent discards 2 cards. There's a free 10k combo that also can work towards like comboing, like playing some of this stuff out if you want. But a free 10k combo that will either tap down 4 things or your opponent discards 2 and draws 2. This card just gets a little more playability, and again, because it's searchable, makes it even better. Then 2 homicidal clones and 2 focus breakthrough. Because we do play multicolor, this card is actually being able to be used for free. So it makes it a little bit better. So this is our main deck list. Go over the Z deck. We have 2 of the Prelude to Destructions, 1 of the new Mighty Blast Limit Ultra Kamehameha. This is one of the new anniversary support extra cards. These are all very good. They can either kill something during the battle step that's 5 or less, and also giving a card 15k. Opponent will discard a card, or you can KO something 3 or less and give something 10k. The idea of a lot of these anniversary support were to replace the Realm of the God extra cards. For the most part, most of them do the exact same thing. They might just not draw a card. I think 2 of them draw a card. 2 or 3 of them draw a card. So this card, you're going to play it. It's also just a Z extra card for you to play. It's good to have Z extra cards nowadays. They're just extra things you can use to tap against yellow. And they do also count as an extra card in field. So if you do play certain counter plays that rely on extra cards, it's another option for you. 1 Android creator, Dr. Gero. This is a green, basically the green version of Surmounting the Impossible. I think it's Surmounting the Impossible. For you to awaken. Or just being able to go down to 5 life or 4 life or whatever. You bottom deck a green card from your hand, and then you take a life and draw a card. So, and it's uninteractable because it's got barrier and deflect. 1 of the Project Zero Mortals. You're probably only ever going to play 1 if you end up playing it at all. So we just want to have 1 in there. 1 Broly Tyrant, and then 1 Frieza Resurrected Ambition. This is just more green support. Just good 1 and 2 drops to play if you don't have the ability of playing something from your hand. Now for the side deck, I did include some cards that I felt like were interesting pieces of tech to think about if you were going to be playing this deck. So 1 is going to be Deity's Wrath. We already talked about this card a little bit, but you can pop any of your cards that total up to 5 energy. Play this guy for 1, and then when it's played, when it attacks, your opponent discards a card. So you can actually swap out from one of your 5 drops. You also can just play this for 2 off of your Goku Blacks. So obviously you're paying 2 for it instead of 1, but you get to keep the card on board. And now it's just gonna rip a card from your opponent's hand every time it attacks. We have Twisted Justice, Fuse Zamasu, really old Zamasu card. You can Unit Patora for 5, probably not going to do that, but this is a 7 cost Zamasu. So we can play it off the Goku Black effect. When this card's played, you either choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards or 2 cards from their hand, and then your opponent places the chosen card in the drop area. So it's not KOing, so it does get around some of those effects. But you can also just choose 2 cards from your opponent's hand and just put them in the drop area, right? 25k, double striker with indestructible as well. This is a really meaty card. The other interesting part about this card is that this is not a multicolor. So the combo cost is not reduced and the combo power is not reduced. However, if we look at the Goku Black here, Prelude to Destruction, this card just combos with a Zamasu or Goku Black from your drop area with their skills negated. So it doesn't actually reduce anything, which means this card you can actually combo from the drop area, and it will be a free 10k combo. So pretty cool little interesting tech there. Didn't mean to click on this one, but we'll go to this guy. This is the new card here. This is Super Saiyan 2 Trunks Path to the Future. So this is a card you're going to play in the mirror match if you're playing this deck. For 2, for leaders green, you have 3 more energy. You play this card. During that turn, the next time you play a Z extra card in your battle area, reduce the energy cost by 1. So for one, this is very good card. You can basically free play this guy. You just have to pitch a Z energy, or you reduce this card by 1. So this card already gets reduced by 4 if your opponent has 4 more battle cards. But then when you play Trunks, you can play this guy for 1. That's pretty cool, right? Bottom part doesn't matter. We're not playing Earthling tokens, so you're not going to get that bottom effect. But top effect, when the card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, negate indestructible, and KO it. So this is a card you're going to have to play in the mirror match. Green might have a little bit of an opportunity to kind of beat the Zamasu deck because of this particular card here. This is just, I wouldn't say it's generically good because, I'm sorry. It's generically good. I wouldn't say it's generically better than some of the other green support we've gotten, but it's just adding more to the fire, essentially. So green now just keeps getting better. And this is just kind of your out to the Zamasu deck. So obviously for playing the Zamasu deck, we're going to side deck this card to play against other Zamasu decks. We have a Secret Rare tech that you can potentially do, which is Power Pator, Vegito, Kefla, and Zamasu. So this is a Zamasu card, so it is searchable off the front side of the leader. Pretty cool. Permanent, if your opponent has 6 or more cards in rest mode, they have 6 or more energy, or they have 6 or more cards in rest mode, you reduce this card in your hand by 3. So then it costs 3 blue and 2 yellow, which we have the ability of having. When you play this card, choose 4 of your opponent's cards and switch in the rest mode, and then draw 4 cards. And this is a 40k triple striker. So, in theory, you actually can play this card and slam it down, and then just tap your opponent out, and then draw 4 cards, and then swing for game. I don't think it's as good as Wicked Saiyans, but it is an option. So it is a Zamasu card, so it is searchable. But we have a Close Combat. This is from the Goku Black starter deck. So if you have a 4 or more battle card with Zamasu with Indestructible, this becomes a 1 cost, and it's a 1 cost 20k crit. This card's played, search top 5, add up to 1 blue Zamasu or Goku Black card to your hand. So if you look, we do run 4 or less or 5 or less Goku Blacks that are blue. So you can actually search out the beginning of Destruction, the prelude to Destruction. You also can search out Zamasu the Eliminator. So it's pretty cool. But being a I'm sorry, not just blue Zamasu, it's not 5 or less. You search top 5 for a Goku Black or Zamasu. You actually can search out all 4 of these cards here. So pretty cool. But also search out itself, but it's just a 1-drop 20k crit to go with your other 1-drop 20k crit. So, and it's a blue card. Mortals Be Gone, another really good Goku Black card. So if your leader is a mono blue or Zamasu or Goku Black, and you have 3 or more Z energy, you can play this card from 1 from your hand. You draw a card and bond back a 4 or less in the battle step. Now you have a 20k double striker on board for 1 energy. Just another good card, just another good Goku Black card. Then we have Unforeseen Darkness, another Goku Black card. So if you have a blue-yellow multicolor in your energy, at the end of the turn you draw 2, you pitch a card, then you restand a blue or yellow energy. Just another good card just for more utility for this deck. I'm telling you, this deck has, and this is just like, outside of this Trunks card, all of these are searchable outside of the Trunks. So this is just like the tip of the iceberg for this deck. Obviously, I didn't want to make like an hour-long video going over everything that this deck can potentially do, but there is a lot. So I would really think about playing this deck, really look into it. This is going to be a really cool deck. Is it going to be tier 1? I don't know, man. We got to see. This should be live for Nationals. So we'll kind of see once we get to that point. We'll see what we're going to be getting for a ban list for Nationals. We're probably going to get something, I feel like. Who knows? This deck might be good if Red comes back. Deck's going to be kind of meh. So we'll have to see at that point. But very cool green deck that's able to play all of these blue and yellow cards to some, I would say, I'm sure people are excited to kind of look into this deck. So let me know what you guys think of this deck. If you guys are going to be playing this, if there's other particular tech, or if you guys think I missed something, or I said something incorrectly in the video, please let me know down in the comments. I'm sure you guys will. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.